Well, welcome into UCCU Ballpark on the campus of Utah Valley University, the site of the 2022 6A State Championship Baseball Series. Game 3, winner take all. Dusty Litster with you. And crazy Game 2, an 18-8 win. Riverton 10 running American Fork after American Fork took Game 1 3-2. And now the question comes down to how much pitching do you have and offense? You can score runs, but can you stop the other team? It's going to be a lot of fun to see. Riverton looking for their first ever state championship in baseball in school history. And American Fork is looking for their 11th and put an asterisk with a 12th with having taken a championship during the pandemic at the Last Chance tournament. But looking for back-to-back titles at the UHSAA state tournament is American Fork. And pitching for the Cavemen in this one is going to be Dax Newman. I'm playing right field. Going to come in now to throw today in the winner-take-all championship. The batter, he and Josh Rojas. The starting lineup for American Fork in defense from left field to right field. The C.J. Mascaro in left, Caden Carpenter in center, Ben Rudder in right. On the infield from left to right, Easton Jones at third, Fisher Ingersoll at short, Ryder Robinson at second, and Dax Watts on first base. We mentioned the battery of Newman and Rojas. For Riverton, it's going to be Mac Bright, then Parker Goff, Sam Beck, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, Tyler Parton, Caden Miller, and Zach Edwards. And the final third of the lineup, Caden Allred, Cooper Hansen, and Carson Moody. Of course, fun part's going to be able to see, can Cade Miller keep the hot bat going? 7 RBIs in Game 2 alone, including the game-ending RBI that brought in Sam Beck and brings us to Game 3. Again, there will be no more here in the championship series, the best 2 of 3. And can AF bounce back after the disappointment of losing Game 2? They went down 8-0, came back 8-6, had it 9-8. They were down 1 run, 9-8, had almost come all the way back. And then Riverton really poured it on, scoring 7 in the 4th and then 2 in the 5th to bring us to this one. And it is Mac Bright starting things off, who was 2 for 3 with 2 runs driven in Game 2. He is the starting right fielder for Coach Mitch Applegate. And first pitch is in there, ball 1. AF won the coin toss between games, and they are the home team. That pitch in there for a called strike. Of course, Riverton, we talk about looking for their first ever state championship in baseball. They want to do what Spanish Fork did last year, and that is win a softball title and a baseball title. Their softball team brought home back-to-back state championships. They were ranked number 4 by USA Today coming into this week. The 1-2 to Bright is wide of the plate. And count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he hit him. A very, very nerving trend from Game 2. 14 walks or combined of walks and hit batsmen for Cavemen pitching. 14. The only inning without a walk was the 5th inning where the game ended. And that'll bring up Parker Goff, the third baseman. And Goff squares up a bunt, and that will come in right at us, just below us here. Goff was 2 for 3, or probably 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. He did walk twice. The third baseman was swinging a good bat this week out at Larry Miller Field. He came to UVU yesterday. Of course, Riverton likes to get runners moving, hit and run with Coach Applegate if they get into the right count. And AF has thrown over a lot of 0-1 the top of the lineup. And again, trying to see if they can catch him leaning. And the 0-1 from Newman. Lifted down the right field line. There's some room out there. Watts comes over and makes the catch. One thing Riverton did was put runners on in that first game of the day. So game 2, I'm going to get used to saying that. In game 2, as every inning but the 5th, they put the first 2 on. But here comes Sam Beck, the shortstop. And Beck offers it the first pitch and lifts it in the infield. And the sun just behind the stands here. You can see how interesting that is. Our first time being here around this time this week here for the 6A tournament. 5A was played here. But 2 outs now for Riverton. And that's the thing. Get 10 run if you're American Fork. Can they find the energy to come right back? And for Riverton, you feel really, really good, but you take a deep breath. Or can you stay sharp? At a short 30-minute break, and you got to come right back. So runner on, 2 outs, and it ends a streak for Barton. Now, if a pass ball happens, and we'll see, but Barton has had 7 straight at-bats with runners in scoring position. As he swings through that one, and the count goes to 1-1. Apologize, a little glitch we had on the graphic there. We'll get that fixed here momentarily. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs on a runner on first. That pitch is inside, and the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. And that ball lifted on the infield as well, just shallow center field. Fisher Ingersoll has a beat on it, might drop, and it does! Kind of in no man's land. The Bermuda Triangle, and Barton with a double. So a moonball double there for Barton, and extends the inning for Riverton. Brings up Cade Miller, man that swung it so well. 7 RBIs in the last game. In game 2 alone. So runners on second and third. As he looks at strike 1. That one's off the plate. Evens the count of the ball and a strike. Cade Miller. He was 5 for 5 with 7 runs driven in, scored 3 times as well. Mercy. The 1-1. Swung through, strike 2. So ball and 2 strikes to the center fielder, Miller. You got 2 runners in scoring position, a chance to get up 2-0 in the first inning. We're going on contact. I don't blame Newman. He's taking a minute. Maybe didn't like the pitch. Playing him pretty shallow. Right field, center field, a little deeper and left. And now the 1-2. And Rojas keeps it in front. Evens the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on for Cade Miller. And the 2-2 lined into right. He was right there. An Adam ball that would have scored 2, but into the glove of Ben Rudder. We go to the bottom of the first inning. AF coming to the plate. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A State Championship Series on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the first inning, and pitching for Riverton in this championship game is Carson Moody, who came on in relief toward the end of game 2. He in the battery of Caden Allred. In the outfield from left to right, Cooper Hansen in left, Caden Miller in center, and Mac Bright in right field. On the infield from left to right, Parker Goff at third, Sam Beck at short, Mitch Applegate at second, and Tyler Barton at third, or probably at first. And we mentioned the battery of Allred and Moody. And the lineup for American Fork, 1 through 3, due up, Ryder Robinson, Fisher Ingersoll, and Easton Jones, followed by Caden Carpenter, Josh Rojas, and Dax Newman. In the final third of the lineup, Dax Watts, Davis Andrews, and CJ Mascaro. So Ryder Robinson gets to flip around and bat left-handed. Looks at ball 1. How about the week he's had at the plate and out on the field? Been outstanding. He was 1 for 2 in game 2. With the hit and 2 runs scored as he looks at strike 1. Very interested to see the pitching situation. As a 2-1 pitch wide of the plate. Moves the count to 3 balls and a strike. We talk about Moody finished game 2. Remington Robbins, I thought, would be pitching this one. I think his arm's still available. And I think it's the plan without him inserting the lineup as Cooper Hansen's out and left. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Robbins. Robinson hits a sharp one to Applegate. Mitch up with it over to first. And Ryder Robinson retired for the first out of the inning. Applegate gets DH'd for, but man, he's got a terrific glove there at second base. And that brings up Fisher Ingersoll. Fisher was 1 for 3 in game 2. And that one misses wide. That was well wide there. And Fisher in the 2 games combined 2 for 7 with a solo home run. Looked at ball 2. And the 2-0 from Moody. Got inside, strike 1. So 2 balls and a strike from Moody. And Ingersoll dribbles this one up the first base line. Moody up with it over to first to Barton. And Ingersoll retired for the second out of the inning. Nice job of fielding his position by Carson Moody. And that'll bring up Easton Jones. Easton had a good game 2. Was 2 for 3 with 3 runs driven in and a run scored. Ooh, leaves that one up. The 1-0. Check swing. Moody let it go. Oh, picked up and throw it over to first. Allred was ready for it. Got him with the bare hand. They don't need him to let it go foul. Just get the out. And we're through 1 and we're scoreless. You're watching game 3 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. And welcome back into UCCU Ballpark. Dusty Litster with you. And the third and final game of the 6A Championship Baseball Series. Zach Edwards, a designated hitter, getting things started in the top of the second inning. And we had a coin toss after game 2, an AF1, and got home field. Is that one launched into left field? Not going to have enough as that dies certainly off the bat. Thought I had a chance as that falls harmlessly into the glove of CJ Mascaro. As that gave AF a scare, and it's 1 away. Yeah, bringing up Caden Allred. Done a fine job on the plate, including that third out at the bottom of the first inning. That pitch misses. And the 1-0 was lifted in the right center field. Ben Rudder coming in, and Rudder's got it taken care of. And Allred retired for the second out. Riverton did not go down in order a single time in game 2. Matter of fact, AF was the only one of the two teams to go out 1-2-3. And that will happen here. As here comes Hansen. Cooper Hansen says, take that for going down in order. Rips that one in the right field. It'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Carson Moody, the starting pitcher. So one aboard with 2 outs. Nice 2-out single from Hansen. And Cooper Hansen got the win in game 2. Now Moody comes up, who replaced him. And there's ball gets to the screen, going to advance the runner to second. Not going to run on Rojas. So 2 outs and a runner in scoring position here for Moody. And try to back pick there at Ingersoll. Moody singled and scored in his plate appearance. Also walked as well in the same inning. The 1-0 and fouls that one out of play. The count even at a ball and a strike. It was overcast this morning. We had some rain between the 5A and 6A game. It's beautiful right now. And that one hitting the left field, right at CJ Mascaro. So we go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the second inning. And we'll start with Caden Carpenter. Carpenter playing center field today. Pitched a terrific game yesterday. In game 1, was outstanding. The future University of Utah baseball player. That one bounced to the plate. Carpenter went 6 1/3. Scouting 5 hits on 2 runs. Only walked 2 batters. Struck out 6. Looked really good. It was very emotional to come off the field. About Carpenter, his sophomore year was the pandemic year. And, AF won the Last Chance baseball tournament. Was one of the top teams in 6A played in that. As that was roped to second, but Applegate had given him space. Applegate, I mean, there's no shift. They're not shifting in high school, thank goodness. But Applegate is so smart, gives himself room, especially on these turf fields. Gets a nice clean hop, throws him out at first. But Carpenter part of those 2 championships, but come off the field yesterday, very, very emotional. As he left in the 7th after hitting his pitch count. They throw 110 pitches in one game. As that brings up Josh Rojas. And Rojas singles through the left side of the infield. And a runner aboard for the Cavemen. And these bats are good. I mean, they swung it last game. I mean, American Fork scored 8 runs on 9 hits. This is extremely potent offense. As that brings up the pitcher, Dax Newman. As that pitch is wide. Newman had a 3-run triple and scored a run. He also had a 2-run triple, or pardon me, he had a leadoff triple last night and scored on the 2-run home run of Dax Watts. The brothers Dax go back-to-back. My nickname, not theirs. As the count even at a ball and a strike. One out, runner on, and that one misses. And already going to come out and have a chat with Moody. Again, if you're just joining us, Lehigh took the 5A championship series 2-0. Won 10-9 yesterday. Won 4-3 in extra innings today. Their first state championship in baseball since 1980. So congratulations to Lehigh. That 2-1 hit well to right. But McBride is there to bring it in, try to backdoor the double play to first. And there's 2 outs as the runner is back in time. Again, for Lehigh, you think about it, 1980, they were 2A. There was only 4 classifications in the state. The Steelers had just beaten the Rams and Merlin Olsen, the Utawn, in the Super Bowl. There was the Miracle on Ice. The Phillies won the World Series with Tug McGraw, Steve Carlton. Magic Johnson was a rookie, and unlike what many Winning Time shows, wasn't quite like that. They did get the stat line right, but won the NBA Finals, which was in tape delay, by the way. So the NBA Finals weren't even live then on TV. Didn't show in the Atlanta market. Atlanta never showed it on tape delay on CBS. And Berlin Wall was up. Ronald Reagan had just taken over as president. And Lehigh bringing home the baseball state championship. As that is in there for a called strike. Count even at a ball and a strike here to Dax Watts. And that ball bounced. Speed up runner, Hardman going to take second easily. So now a runner in scoring position here for Watts. And I would say it big for AF, but they scored runs. And again, all red wanting to make sure he's on the same page with Moody. AF looking for their 11th Activity Association Sanctioned State Championship. Riverton looking for their first. Two balls and a strike to Dax Watts. 2 out and a runner on second. That ball hit well to right field, but right at Mac Bright, who brings it in. Go to the bottom of the second inning. We're still scoreless. You're watching the decisive Game 3 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. Top of the third inning. And we're back to the top of the order for Riverton. And Mac Bright leading things off for the Silverwolves. 2 putouts in the bottom of the second down right field. Was hit by a pitch and stranded at third in his first plate appearance. He looked at ball 1. A 1-0 up in the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Misses wide as well. So quickly, up 3-0. See if Newman got to come all the way back here. And there it is, strike 1. The 3-1 is bounced. And Bright aboard once again. So the runner on, that brings up the third baseman, Parker Goff. Not a bad day for Mac Bright. He has reached every time he's gotten up. That's his 4th walk between game 2 and game 3. The Goff going to show bunt, and it just goes foul. So I talk about Mac Bright going 180. He was 0 for 4 last night, reached on 2 errors. And then today, they've been able to keep him off the bases. Mentioned Goff, 1 for 3 with an RBI in game 2. And showing bunt. Really surprised with the baseball play decision here so early with a good bat. Sam Beck on deck and Barton behind Beck. Again, trying to keep them close. No balls, 1 strike and a show bunt, and a pitch off the plate. So, double corner crash. Gives Robinson about a 100-foot sprint to first to cover the bag. And again, keeping Bright close. He's going to do up downs, so he's no longer tired or thirsty. And he tries to slash there on the 1-1 out of play. So count goes to a ball and 2 strikes off the foul ball. And secondary pitch is wide open here for Dax Newman. A 1-2. Breaking ball goes the other way. Terrific job on 2 strikes. Shorten up. Take the pitch where it is. And 2 aboard for Riverton. Park kind of sleepy after the 10-run game 2. Maybe start waking everybody up. I think it's kind of just a different feel right now. That brings up Sam Beck, the shortstop. Beck was 1 for 3 with 2 runs driven in. Gives him 8 RBIs, probably 9 on the week. And he's going to bunt. Third baseman was back. Good speed from Beck on his way to first, and he's safe. Infield single for Sam Beck. Easton Jones was playing back. And the bases are loaded of Silverwolves. So back to the plate with runners in scoring position, starting a new streak. Tyler Barton, 8 of his last 9 at-bats with runners in scoring position. And he ropes this one through the right side. That's going to plate 2. Here comes the throw, going to be cut off. And a 2-run single from Tyler Barton. And Riverton takes a 2-0 lead. So Beck goes from first to third. Bryant and Goff come in. Top 4 of the order have all gotten aboard. Here comes Cade Miller. And that one hit him. So base is loaded once again. And the way that Miller's been swinging the bat, I mentioned the 7 RBIs in game 2. So no outs. Bases loaded. And he's going to draw a visit to the mound. See what Coach Ingersoll wants to do here. As they'll have a conversation. We'll take the break with them. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. So the mound visit is over, and that brings up the designated hitter, Zach Edwards. He's enjoyed the championship series. Been a tough week for Zach. But in the 2 games in the championship series, he's been outstanding from the plate. And he offers at the first pitch. So no outs, bases loaded. Tough situation here for Newman. You got to get the outs. Looking for a ground ball. He'd go double the middle. Corner going to come home. His job to get the ball to the outfield. Score a run. He ropes this one. It's got a chance. Grand slam. Tough week is over. Zach Edwards with a grand slam, putting Riverton up 6-0. He's liked being in the championship game. Mentioned he was hitless coming into the series. He's been absolutely spectacular from last night and today. And the Riverton Silverwolves with a 6-run third. Place is buzzing. And that brings up Caden Allred. And Allred to the right side, and he's retired for the first out by Ryder Robinson. How about the first 6 batters in the lineup order? They open the third at the top of the order. All 6 get on, and all 6 score, virtue of the grand slam from Edwards. And now to the plate is Cooper Hansen. Hansen fouls that one off down the left field line and out of play. Hansen singled last inning, his only plate appearance. The 0-1 just missed. And the 1-1. That one finds the plate, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cooper Hansen. Offers that one, staying alive, 1-2. A 1-2 pitch from Newman bounced, evens a count. Box count 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is wide, and now the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, got 1 out, nobody on for Cooper Hansen, the left fielder. The payoff pitch misses inside. So runner aboard with 1 out. And Carson Moody comes to the plate. Moody flew out to left field earlier in the inning. Or probably last inning. I take that back. Last inning. Is that one? Oh, goes right back into the students. They caromed off the metal stand back here. Got to keep your head on a swivel. As that one misses down. So count even. And that one back in the screen. So a ball and 2 strikes to Carson Moody. And that one misses down, evens the count up 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Whoa. And give the umpire a second here, wearing that one. So Moody, the starting pitcher, going to have a 6-run cushion here as of right now. But big thing here for Newman. Got to work down, get the ground ball so he can get out of the inning. As the Riverton bats are alive and well. And they've been selective inside the counts as well. In this inning alone, Mac Bright led off with a walk. Cooper Hansen with a walk. And now that pitch misses and the count's full. You also have the hit batsman, Cade Miller, on the first pitch. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on first. And the top of the order coming up behind Carson Moody. The 3-2. That one corkscrewed into center field. Carpenter had a misread initially, able to come in and get it. That's why you always take the first step back, a read step. He didn't see it initially. The sun's hanging out. You see his glasses on. They didn't get a great read on initially, and then you got more speed coming forward and you do backward. So 2 outs as Mac Bright, the leadoff man, comes to the plate. Walked and scored to start the inning. And he swings through that one, strike 1. The 0-1 off the plate. Carpenter playing, shallow in center field. He's in on the logo. The 1-1 to Bright. Hit sharply to second. Robinson, what a play. Ryder with the diving catch and a throw to first. Beautiful play by Ryder Robinson. But Riverton puts up a big number in the top of the 3rd inning. 6 runs for the Silverwolves. Bottom of the 3rd. AF coming to the plate. You're watching Game 3 in the 6A Championship Series on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the 3rd inning, American Fork finds himself in a hole, 6-0. Davis Andrews getting things started for the Cavemen as he offers it the first pitch from Moody. Cade Miller out there for the first out. We know this AF lineup can score. They can swing the bat as well as anybody. But this Riverton lineup starting to come alive, and you got guys doing damage every time they come to the plate. And they're finding ways on base over and over and over again. As the 9-hitter, C.J. Mascaro, comes to the plate. It's 8-9-1 due up for the Cavemen. So top of the order coming up after Mascaro as he looks at ball one. 1-0 coming inside, misses. 2 balls and no strikes. A 2-0 pitch fouled off down the line. Count goes to 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch wide of the plate. And the count moves to 3 balls and a strike. Carson Moody's done a good job here for the Silverwolves. Mentioned coming in relief last game. And the starter here is that one's in there for a called strike 1. Or probably strike 2. The count now full to Davis Andrews. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Or pardon me, C.J. Mascaro. I think it's the 3rd game today. That one's bounced. So a runner on first base with 1 out as Mascaro works the walk, and here we go. You want the bottom of the lineup, get some guys on with the turn it over to the top of the order with the big bats coming. Here comes Ryder Robinson. 1, 2, 3 went down in order to start the game for American Fork, but imagine just a little deflated the way that game 2 ended. They can come alive really quick. That ball launched down the line, and it is well foul. Puts it out on the road. Ryder grounded out to second for the first out of the game. The 0-1 down the first baseline, foul. And quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Ryder doubled and scored last game. That ball to the right side. Applegate with it. Goes back to second. Beck to first. And he's safe. Oh, that was way closer than I thought it was going to be initially. When Applegate went back to second, I was shocked. But a nice throw, and Beck nearly got Robinson. So it'll be 1 out, probably 2 outs, with a runner on first. As that'll bring up Fisher Ingersoll as Robinson reaches on the fielder's choice. And Fisher, big swing on the first pitch. Swung through it. Then a tough day for Fisher. And a tough day at the plate. And now the 0-1. Check swing. I don't think he did. Throw to first is off the mark, and Robinson's going to pop up and take second. So trying to snap down to first and gets away from Barton. It's now runner in scoring position here for Fisher Ingersoll. And did we have him swing? I don't think he went. It was close, but no. And if the umpire went in doubt, I'd say he did not. But not sure, so count goes to a ball and a strike. So runner on second with 2 outs. And Allred wants to make sure he's on the same page with Moody. You can see at the top of the screen there, Applegate, he's moved himself in the shallow right field. It has served him well. He's had some rockets hit at him. No shift, so we got 2 on the left side of the bag. We're trying to give some room with the A good bat of Fisher Ingersoll. He and Caden Carpenter and Ryder Robinson on the left side hit rockets. And the 2-1 misses wide, and there goes the 3 balls and a strike. Don't get too cute here. Easton Jones on deck. That's the thing. He's going to have to go through it. We talked about it before. It's just keep flipping over, and it's face cards, man. Ingersoll, Jones, Carpenter, Rojas, Newman, and Watts. And that one's wide the plate, and it's a walk. So runners aboard for the Cavemen. So runners on first and second, and it's going to draw a visit. So while they talk things over, we'll be right back. You're watching Game 3 in the 6A championship. So coming to play now, the third baseman, Easton Jones. Drove in 3 runs last game. As he offers it the first pitch, lifts it out of play. But a big spot here for the heart of the order. 2 outs, 2 on. And they got to respond to that 6-run top half. The 0-1. And Jones looks at ball 1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. That's outer half and misses. Count now to a hitter's count, 2 balls and a strike. We got a ball from the bullpen. Came down. So 2 balls and a strike. They try a back pick there with Applegate. And now the 2-1. Missed wide. Nice job, Allred, keeping that in front. Could have skipped away, would advance the runners. So tell Jones, hey, anyway on, load the bases, Carpenter on deck. And now the 3-1. And that one misses down. So load the bases, and here comes big man. I can just call him Carp, Caden Carpenter. Carpenter grounded out to second in his only plate appearance last inning. It was a well-hit ball right at Applegate. He can drive in some runs. 2 outs, run not contact, and chops that one foul. It's the thing for Moody, trying to stay off the barrel of Carpenter. Caden did drive in a run in Game 2. Talked about his pitching performance in Game 1. He was very, very good last night. And that pitch misses wide of the plate. He was the count of the ball and a strike. So ball and a strike to Carpenter. 2 outs, bases loaded. The 1-1. Whoa, that's in there. Called strike 2. Well, Breakham almost caught the outside corner. It's not shorten up. Extend the inning and drive in 2 with a base hit. Big swing and a miss, strike three. Changed the eye level on him, and he swung through it. Out of the jam, into the top of the fourth we go. Riverton leading 6-0. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. Top of the fourth inning. Riverton leads American Fork in the decisive Game 3 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series. And it's Riverton 6, American Fork 0, as we will lead off with Parker Goff, the third baseman. Dax Newman remains in. That is his 59th pitch of the day. And that's in there for a called strike. Goff singled and scored last inning. Looking to start the inning for the Silverwolves here. And the 1-1. Lifted in the left, but right at Mascaro, who has it for the first out. Again, been a fun championship day. We talk about game 1, or probably game 2. Game 1 of the day, but game 2 of the 5A championship. Went extra innings with Lehigh and Olympus. Lehigh taking the championship in extra innings, 4-3. Zach Evans with the walk-off single, as that brings up Sam Beck to the plate. Beck walked and scored in the third. Or probably singled and scored. Remember, the third baseman was playing back. He dropped down the bunt and beat out the throw as he chops this one foul to the left side. Count goes 0-2. And the 0-2, ground to left side. Ingersoll with it, long throw, and pulls the Dax Watts off the bag. And so runner aboard with one out. And they do go error. So we're going to count that as an infield single. That brings up Tyler Barton. Was a tough throw for Ingersoll. He might have been safe without the throw. So our pitch is down. Barton came through with an RBI single last inning. Pitch misses, goes 2-0. Good start for Tyler. Doubled off a ball that was launched high into the air but short in the outfield. And that one is launched toward the freeway, but out of play. Fell in the Bermuda Triangle as everybody came converging in on it, didn't get to it. And Barton was able to get to second. And then last inning, singled and scored and drove in a run. So they count 2 balls and 1 strike. And this one right back into the screen. Nearly right out of our broadcast position, but didn't quite happen. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on first. Nice stab by Watts. As the shadows are creeping in, and the runner's going to go, and Sam Beck with the steal. So put a runner in scoring position for Barton, as that one's bounced at the plate and the count runs full. Three balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, a runner at second. Pitch missed up. And the runner's on first and second out with one out with the walk. That brings up Cade Miller. And also brings out the trip to the mound. We'll be right back. You're watching Game 3, the 6A Championship Series. So Bryton Nielsen comes in for Coach Ingersoll. Runners on first and second. You take on Cade Miller, the center fielder. Miller was hit by a pitch and scored. And AF's going to try to manage the situation so they can get out of the situation. Ground ball, such a good middle infield with Ingersoll and Robinson. Short and second. On the first pitch, and Bryton finds his own. Played middles. Obviously, they'll play depth. Corners back. Not holding the runner at first. And the 0-1 bounced. Nice job by Rojas. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 2 on. The 1-1 wide of the plate. Count runs 2 balls and a strike. Hitter count here for Cade Miller. Zach Edwards with the grand slam is on deck. Miller finds his, or pardon me, yeah, Cade Miller finds his way on with a walk. Edwards had a chance again. And this is chopped to short. Ingersoll's got a chance. 4, or probably 6, 4, 3, double play, and AF is out of the jam. They got the defensive play. Well, that sparked the offense for the Cavemen. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning in a 6-run lead for Riverton. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A Championship game on KSLSports.com. Starting things off, the bottom of the 4th inning is Josh Rojas. And Rojas looks at ball 1. Moody's done a nice job going through this AF lineup. Put him down in order in the first. Faced 4 in the second. Scattered everything there in the third. Maybe get Carpenter on with the K with bases loaded. And now Rojas singled his last time up. And that one misses. 2 balls and no strikes to Josh Rojas. The 2-0. That one bounced. The count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. And got to come all the way back. The 3-0 off the plate. So a leadoff walk for Rojas. And he'll give way to speed up runner Hardman. As hit and run is on for Dax Newman. Going to move the runner, all mishandled. Mishandled by Moody. And it got 2 on and no outs. He got the soft contact he was hoping for on a hit and run. again, this lineup can't take a deep breath through it. I know that's not a big-time hit, but the reason I say that is the guys behind them, they're not going to find an easy at-bat or an easy out. And we'll see what they decide to do with Moody. Got a pitching visit the mound. We'll be right back. And coming on the pitch for the Silverwolves is Owen Olson. So a nice job by Moody. He came in the pitch at inning of the third at the end of game 2. And then he's responsible for the 2 runners. So his book is still open on Moody. And now Owen Olson going to come in to face Dax Watts. Watts shows bunt, pulls back, and sends that one to the screen. So no outs and 2 on. Bender, gave him the benefit of the call there. I said I was going to stop doing it. I'm not going to call balls and strikes back here. We've seen a lot of them. That was a big sweeping deuce there. No balls, 2 strikes. The one that Burnsby elevates a fastball. Breaking ball again. A nice job of going again at Watts. That's going to fall in. Here comes the runner. The throw from Miller is offline, and it's an RBI single for Dax Watts. You're not going to shut American Fork out. So Hardman comes in to score. The speed-up runner for Josh Rojas, and the leadoff walk leads to a run. So again, runners on first and second with no outs. Now a pinch runner for American Fork. As Davis Andrews comes to the plate. And it's Jet Walker, the pinch runner at first. And Andrews going to show bunt, and does, to the right side, and it goes foul. That's one thing these turf fields do. You don't get the benefit of the chalk being just maybe a little bit higher, and if they had a little heavy spot, it kills the ball. But 0-1 now, the foul ball. Good cloud cover most of the day has helped with the sun, but a little intermittent right now as the shadows creeping toward home plate. And now the 0-1. Some late movement into the dirt. So the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Andrews is the 8 hitter. Then Mascaro, then to the top of the order. And now the 1-1. Corners up, middle's back. Showing bunt again. Not going to try to bunt the breaking ball. And call the ball. So the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. So the 2-1. Line to short, taken by Beck, steps on second and to first, a triple play. Sam Beck. Got a freeze on a line drive Don't know what overly mattered, but Sam Beck with a triple play. And if it can go right, it is going right for Riverton. The threat is over on the triple play as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning and a 5-run lead for Riverton. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A Championship Series. We apologize. Park still buzz. Apologize for the little hot mic thing, but still couldn't believe it. Triple play in the state championship game. Sam Beck, unreal. We had umpires are sitting just below us and asking, like, when was the last time you saw it? That was where our conversation was. That was crazy. As here's Zach Edwards. I mean, just think about this Game 3. Edwards led things off. Well, not led things up. I got the craziness started. Hit a grand slam in the 3rd inning. I got a triple play with Sam Beck. I mean, of all the things that can happen, both of them happened. And a 2-1 count to Zach Edwards. And that one hits softly to short. He's got a chance, good speed. Ingersoll not in time. No, he got him. Oh, baby. That was close. And Edwards called out at first. Super close there. But Edwards retired for the first out. And he got a little goofy, dusty voice on that one. I didn't see that one coming. Sean McDonough's voice cracks. For me, I get kind of stuck in little goofy land. So 6-3 put out by Ingersoll. Is Caden Allred fouls that one out of play. Caden 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to right, grounded to second. And hits this one into shallow left field. It's going to drop in there. Going to round first, looking for 2. No, wide turn. And he's safely back to first. Wised up, coming around first base. So a 1-out single for the catcher, Caden Allred. And that'll bring his speed-up runner. I believe that is Easton Hicks. So Cooper Hansen comes to the plate. Cooper 1 for 2 today, or in this one. Starting pitcher in Game 2, got the win. Got 2 wins on the week. Hicks away from first. That one misses up and out of the zone. Cooper singled to right, back in the second. Walked in the third. So again, the 1-1. And that one misses wide. Count goes to 2-1. So again, the 2-1 to Hansen in there, called strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and a runner on first with 1 out. And that one's wide of the plate, and the count goes full. He walked last inning, did Hansen, and works himself to a 3-2 count here. Brighton Nielsen on the mound for Coach Ingersoll. And the payoff pitch, swung through and missed. Strike 3. And there's 2 away. That's the thing for AF. They're saying, hey, we got to put zeros on the board. They got to find ways to get crooked numbers. Still can't believe the triple play. You always talk to your guys, hey, freeze on the line drive. And when it's lined toward second base, you tend to get a little loose. Certainly happened there. So 2 outs and 1 on as Owen Olson swings through that one. The 0-1. Now count 1-1. Olson comes on in relief of Carson Moody. And Olson lifts that one out of play. I want to say we saw Olson earlier this week because I said I know what I want to say, and I'm trying to fight it. Just trying to remember which game it was in. As that one misses wide. Count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2. Oh! Just got a piece of that. I think Rojas is asking, did he actually touch it? I don't know, that's what I would be thinking. But also check it on the umpire. Wore them both on the catcher and ump. So we'll keep it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And 2 outs with the runner on first. The 2-2. And we'll do it again. We've seen outstanding 2-strike at bats all week long in the 6A tournament. Guy's been hanging and battling with 2 strikes. And we'll do it again here. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that will send us to the top of the 5th inning. 3 innings remaining in the high school baseball season in the state of Utah. American Fork trails by 5. AF coming to the plate. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. The AF faithful trying to help lift their boys. Their defending 6A champs are trailing in the final 3 innings. Down 5 runs. They've got 3 at-bats to make up the 5-run difference. And we will be starting with a 9-hole hitter, CJ Mascaro. And that one misses. We dealt with the shadows of BYU, different than the ones here at Utah Valley. Not coming straight from behind, but still, the ball's going to be coming from the light to the dark. Makes it a little tougher. The 1-0, lifted into shallow left center field. Beck going out, Miller coming in, and rightfully takes that ball for the first out of the inning. That center fielder's got to take control. He's coming full speed, running forward. That's his ball all day long. Great job of Miller coming out and get it. And there's 1 out. As we go to the top of the order, and Ryder Robinson. And with Olson coming in to pitch, Robinson having to flip from left to right. The switch hitter fouls that one into the glove. Robinson grounded out to first in the, or pardon me, out to second in the first. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third. And that slow breaking piece finds the outer part of the plate. And now the 0-2. Same spot. Pretty close anyway. Umpires would say, hey, if it's an 1/8 of an inch and it's more right than left, missed the plate, it's a ball, even if it's just an 1/8 of an inch. And the 1-2, sent toward the middle. Applegate with it, tough throw, not going to be in time. Robinson beats it out. That's tough as a second baseman. You kind of come into no man's land toward the plate. To try to turn your body to get that ball to first, it's hard to get anything on it. So runner on with the, I'm calling infield single there to Ryder Robinson. And now Fisher Ingersoll. And one towards short. Beck can't get to that one. Robinson going from first to third. And a one-out single for Fisher Ingersoll. They got runners on the corners for the Cavemen. They're not going to go quietly. They're not going to go down without a fight. They're not going to go quietly into the night. It's about their lives. Now bringing to the plate the third baseman, Easton Jones. And the Bears mentioning that double play ball is in order. With the runner on first. That one was well off the plate. I could see that from here. I'm shocked that's getting called there. But either way it was. So no balls and one strike here to Jones. And that one's bounced. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Got Jones, Carpenter, and then Rojas. Due up for the Cavemen with runners on first and third. And Ingersoll draws that throw over. Olsen, right as Olsen came set, he looks to home, and Fisher gave him a little bit of a move. And Jones swings through that one, strike two. Big at bat here. And Carpenter on deck, and then Rojas. AF's bats been held. They've gotten hits, 4 hits, but they've been held pretty quiet here by Moody. Moody did a great job for Riverton. Got out of the jam in the third with bases loaded. And of course, last inning, American Fork had runners on first and second after plating a run. Had runners on first and second and no outs, and it was a line drive to short that turned into a triple play. And nice job of Jones of hanging on, a 1-2. I mean, an absolute shot from Davis Andrews towards short. Sam Beck, who was holding the runner at second, took the line drive, stepped on second, threw it to first. And now the 1-2. Count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a good bat with Easton Jones. And the 2-2. No, and they throw down to get Ingersoll. Double steal, throw home, off the mark. Run comes in. Ingersoll will take third on the throw. And it's 6-2. And it was a ball, so 3 balls, 2 strikes. Delay steal from Ingersoll, drawing the throw. And a little bit more energy for the red and black. The 3-2 pitch from Olsen swung through, strike 3. 2 outs. Now Caden Carpenter to the plate. Fastball, outer half. First time seeing Olsen. And now the 0-1. Bender. Counting evens up. Ball and a strike. Carpenter's 0 for 2 in this one. Ground out to second, went down on strikes. The 1-1. Hit sharply to second, but Applegate giving himself room. Mitch up with it, shorts it to first. Nice dig by Barton. Human backstop there with Barton. And American Fork again, plates 1. as we go to the top of the 6th inning. It's a 4-run lead for Riverton. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. Mac Bright starts off the 6th inning for Riverton. Looks at the breaking ball for a called strike. And that one fouled out of play to count quickly 0-2. Bright reached on a walk in the first. The Bright was hit by a pitch in the first, walked and scored in the third and grounded out in the same inning as he hangs here at 0-2. But just joining us, crazy things with Riverton at a grand slam from Edwards, a triple play, ending a first and second with no outs as that ball grounded to third. Jones over to first in time, and Mac Bright retired for the first down of the inning. But if it can go right, it has gone right for Riverton. Again, Riverton looking for their first ever state championship in baseball in school history. Softball teams won back-to-back titles, ranked in the top 5 nationally, according to USA Today. And the baseball team, their first championship game appearance since 2018. They went down 2 games to Bingham. This ball chopped to the third base side by Parker Goff. Jones has it on his way to first. Got him in time. Jones with 2 putouts. And that brings up the shortstop, Sam Beck. Remember this, Riverton had not been retired in order. They had not been retired in order since the 3rd inning of Game 1. They retired Game 2, well, 5 innings of Game 2. And 4 innings here in Game 3. And now threatening to do it here on back-to-back innings. The 1-0 to Beck. Count now 2-0. Brighton Nielsen came on in relief in the 4th. Got a double play ball in his only batter with Cade Miller. And then put Riverton down in order, and now has 2 batters and 2 outs. So Sam Beck, one of the best bats in the lineup at Riverton. Count now 3-0 to the shortstop. And misses up at a 4-pitch walk. So 2-out walk and extend the inning for Riverton. And any run is the run that Riverton wants. Need insurance. The potent AF lineup. In the bottom of the 6th will be Rojas, Newman, and Watts due up for Coach Ingersoll. And that brings up Tyler Barton with a runner on first and 2 outs. Barton's enjoyed a great Game 3. He doubled in the first, an RBI single, and scored in the 3rd. Walked last inning, or last plate appearance in the 4th. That pitch is up, and 6 straight balls from Nielsen after getting the first 2 outs. So Rojas going to come out and have a little chat. Reminds us to remind you to make 2022 the year of you. Go to wgu.edu. And fill out your chance to get a $1,000 scholarship to Western Governors University. Your degree of your choice at your own pace and on your own terms. Again, Western Governors University, I want to thank them for their support of Game Night Live Rewind. This is game 66 on the week, just this week, from our Game Night Live Rewind crew. And the 2-0 wide of the plate. Now 3-0. Cade Miller is on deck. He's been the big bat from Game 2. Remember, he drove in 7 runs. And for AF, putting up zeros on the scoreboard. Want to keep extending the innings with walks. And it comes right back after 7 straight balls, throws a strike. The 3-1. In there, strike two. Go short way in the middle. And for Easton Jones, anywhere it takes him. Or pardon me, get it go across. I misspoke. Full count, 2 outs, runner goes. Ball 4. So that brings up Cade Miller, the center fielder, with 2 on and 2 out. And you also want to make sure you got it right here. That one wide. So sure before, Miller at bat second all week long. Moved him to the 5 spot for game 2. Man, he responded. And we're going to have a visit. And I'll give us a chance to take a quick break. You're watching game 3. We'll be right back. So visit on the mound is over. A 1-0 count to Miller. Fastball swung through. Even up a 1-1. And Nielsen going to step off. And again, he and Rojas mixing up on the signs here. We saw her in the week, I believe it was the PG game. We're getting mixed up on the signs, and actually, I think the catcher was expecting a curveball, and it was a fastball right to the padded area, right in the chest. So you always want to make sure you're right on that. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and runners on first and second. The ball hit well by Miller to right field. Tailing toward the line and taken easily out there by, I believe that's Newman. So that'll do it for the top of the 6th. Go to the bottom of the 6th. 2 at-bats remaining for American Fork, trailing by 4. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A Championship Series. Bottom of the 6th inning. And we will start off with the catcher, Josh Rojas. And that was in there for a called strike. Rojas singled in the second, reached, and his speed-up runner Hardman scored in the 4th. And the 0-1 evens up at 1-1. This ball into left field. Thought maybe Beck would be able to stab that. Wanted to hold off. And that's a leadoff single for Josh Rojas. You hear me say this over and over again. I don't cheer for teams. We cheer for moments. And when we get into championship games, we want this to come down just like last night. With a game-tying, game-winning run 90 feet away. So not cheering for anything. Here comes Newman. One on and no one out. Goff to second. Applegate on the turn. No. Nice job of getting up the line by Newman. He'll reach on the fielder's choice as Hardman is forced off for the first out of the inning. And I'll bring up Dax Watts. Came through with an RBI single back in the 4th. The batter before the triple play And that one's bounced. Newman on his way down to second. So advance the runner into scoring position. Mentioned Watts to that 2-run homer last night. Great atmosphere last night. Got a good one here in Game 3. The 1-0. Bender wide of the plate. We talked about all the stuff. We talked about the Cavemen baseball team looking to go back-to-back. Basketball team made a run through the state tournament, brought home the championship. Second one under Coach Ryan Cuff. Baseball team trailing by 4. Trying to mount a comeback as that pitch is off the mark. And 3-0 with Andrews on deck. So 7, 8, 9 with Watts, Andrews, and Mascaro to see if they can bridge to the top of the order. Only 2 at-bats left for AF. And missed. And we'll see with Coach Applegate. They got 2 arms going in the pen. That brings up Davis Andrews. I'm guessing, just throwing a venture guess, that if Andrews is aboard, you're going to see a new arm out there for Riverton. 4-run lead in the top of the order lurking. Here's the 8-hitter, Davis Andrews. And first pitch ball from Olson. That was well off the plate. It draws some groans and people can't quite have the angle there. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, and 2 on. That one's up. Bears mentioning with Andrews at the plate. Well, we'll have a visit to the mound first. For Olson, wanting to settle him down. We'll take it with him. We'll be right back. You're watching Game 3 of the 6A championship. So, visit on the mound's over. 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Davis Andrews. And it's now 3-0. CJ Mascaro on deck. And Andrews, so tell them all, if you're trailing by 4, hey, anyway on. Gonna flash the bunt, that's inside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk, gonna load the bases. And that brings up the 9-hitter, CJ Mascaro. And Riverton's gonna go ahead and make the pitching change. Got to protect the 4-run lead. The game-time run coming to the plate. We got a pitching change. You're watching the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. Number 9 hitter CJ Mascaro coming to the plate. Top of the order behind him, and the bases loaded, and ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch, inside, ball 2. Saw this with AF last game. Can't defend a walk. Not necessarily need to serve it up, but can't defend a walk. No defense for a walk. The 2-0, fastball, called strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Mascaro. That ball lifted on the infield. Infield fly rule. Runners move their own peril, but it is taken by Applegate. And we go to the top of the order with 2 outs. Dylan Zullo, the pitcher. He came in, got his job there with Mascaro, and now Ryder Robinson. Game time runs at the plate. Fisher Ingersoll on deck. Strike 1. Robinson had an infield single at the top of last inning. Now behind no balls and a strike. Zullo's pitch is bounced. Nice job by Allred. You know, I give so much love to Rojas, whose job he's done on the plate. But how about Caden Allred's been outstanding as well all week long. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and the bases loaded. Down 4. And it misses. Count goes to 2-1. Terrific hitter's count for a very good hitter in Ryder Robinson. Applegate playing him in shallow, about 2 steps off the infield, giving himself some room and range. The 2-1 inside. No, called strike 2. No feel for that corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Robinson. Riverton fans can feel it. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Bases loaded and 1 out. Zullo comes in and gets the job done. Bottom of the 6th. Riverton looking to extend their lead. You're watching Game 3 in the 6A Championship Series. Top of the 7th inning. The last inning of the high school baseball season in Utah. And it's a 4-run lead for Riverton as they're looking to bring home their first ever state championship in baseball in school history. As Edwards looks at ball 1, Zach supplied a memory he won't forget, a grand slam in the 3rd inning. And Riverton looking for some insurance runs. Swung through that one, count even in a ball and a strike. Zach 1 for 3 in this one. There was some big hits in Game 2 as well. And even Game 3 hit a triple. So he has been spectacular in the championship series. Young sophomore. Does so much for this team. And my understanding, got injured toward the end of the year and just designated hitting, or has designated hit all week. We want to know why sports are so great. Ulfer during the week, Monday into the championship series, and he has been absolutely outstanding. That one misses. The count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Edwards. And the payoff pitch, and it's a leadoff walk. Another part of this is big. You want to get the insurance one because grand slam would tie the game and go to the top of the 8th. Remember the 5A championship game, Game 2 this morning. It was a 2-run lead going into the 7th. The top of the 7th, and Olympus played the 2 runs they needed to go to the 8th. And Lehigh took home the championship. Is Caden Allred trying to bunt that pitch. I think it would have been into the screen, but I'm trying to bunt that one. So Edwards on first, and an 0-1 count. Allred flew out to right in the second, grounded to second in the third, and then singled. A little flare down the line in his last at bat. Again, squares the bump, pumps this one up. And Edwards wisely had pulled up and saw it and got back to first. So one away on the fly out to first. Josh Jacobson going to come and hit for Cooper Hansen. And Jacobson fouls that one into the screen. Pleases the student section. And the 0-1 swung on, strike two. Brian Nielsen has come on and not allowed a run from this Riverton offense. All the runs scored in the third. The 0-2, chopped to the left side, and Ingersoll won't get to it. And it's a one-out single for the pinch hitter. So two aboard for Riverton. And now another pinch hitter coming to the plate. Well, pardon me, this is going to be Dylan Zulo, who came on to pitch. As pinch running is Easton Hicks. So Dylan Zulo will come to the plate in the 9-hole. Top of the order behind Dylan. Again, runners on first and second, and one out. And no, he hit him. Or did it hit the bat? Must have hit the bat because he'd be on first base. Did I missed him? Apparently so. I'm going to say foul ball, so 0-1. And a half-hearted swing on that one, strike two. Got crossed up on it. So down to his final strike. Mac Bright on deck for the Silverwolves. And the 0-2 pitch. And fouled off. And we will do it again. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Double play ball in order with runners on first and second. Nielsen's pitch in there for a called strike 3 and the second out of the inning. Again, American Fork trying to hold this to a 4-run deficit where they can bring up some bats and try to tie it up. Had bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out, couldn't push across a run. As here's Mac Bright, the leadoff man and the right fielder. And he looks at ball 1. The 1-0 in there for a called strike. Perez reached twice hit batsman and walk. Scored a run in the third. The 1-1 up and out of the zone. 2-1 now. Parker Goff on deck, and then Sam Beck. And now the 2-1. Off the plate. The count goes to 3 balls and a strike. And the 3-1 lifted down the line and foul. Been a fun 2 days here in the championship series at UVU. Been at BYU all week long for the 6A tournament. Want to thank JT Wistersill for handling business here during the 5A tournament. $27 baseball games this week. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Runner's going to be going. And it's ball 4. So Bright going to load the bases. No arms down there for American Fork. Again, 2 outs. That brings up Parker Goff. Base hit could seal it for Riverton. Strike 1. Nice job of coming back there by Bryant Nielsen. If you're going to dug out there from AF, say, hey, anywhere we can get it, fine. We'll force it anywhere. 2 outs. Just worry about the guy at the plate. Fouled out of play. 0-2. And goes short way up the middle, wherever it takes you at third. No balls, 2 strikes to Parker Goff. And he flares this to the right side. That's going to plate 2. 1 run comes in. Here's the second. The throw's off the mark, and it's a 2 RBI single as Goff goes into second on the throw. A 2-run single for Parker Goff. And it's a 6-run lead for the Silverwolves. And Sam Beck coming to the plate with runners on second and third and 2 outs. And that one misses. First run surrendered by Bryant Nielsen. Since he came in to throw back in the 4th inning. That one misses as well. 2 balls and no strikes. And I never want to count out American Fork in this lineup. Got Ingersoll, Jones, and Carpenter due up in the bottom of the 7th. But it is a huge hole to climb out of. Now they've done it, tallying by 6. They've scored 6-run inning just back last game. In game 2, a little different when you're licking wounds a little bit. Sometimes it's the last gasp thing. So we'll see as Beck evens the count at 2-2 with that foul ball. I mean, it would take something miraculous of this American Fork lineup. In the words of Gorilla Monsoon, the intestinal fortitude would have to be really big. The 2-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3, and that'll do it for the inning. But how about Parker Goff? He plates 2 runs. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Last chance here for American Fork, the reigning champs, on the ropes, down 6. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2022 6A Championship Baseball Series. Bottom of the 7th inning. American Fork, the reigning 6A Kings of Baseball, are trailing by 6 in their final 3 outs. And leading things off is their shortstop, Fisher Ingersoll. Fisher 1 for 2 with a single and a walk in Game 3. It is a 6-run deficit to try to extend this game. Riverton trying to get 3 outs and bring home their first state championship in baseball in school history. The 1-0. Now is lifted out of play. Fisher's had an outstanding career playing for his father at American Fork. Saw his uncle and cousin take home the 5A title with a Lehigh earlier. As that 1-1 pitch off the plate goes to 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1. Strike 2. Dylan Zullo on the mound for Coach Applegate. And the 2-2 lifted out of play, and we'll do it again. Two balls and 2 strikes to Fisher Ingersoll. Zullo lifts that one in center field. Cade Miller comes over, and it's 1 away. Two outs away from a state championship for Riverton. That brings up Easton Jones, the third baseman. Jones is 0 for 2 today with the walk. In Game 3, is that pitch called strike 1. Behind Jones is Carpenter. The 0-1, strike 2. Little breaking piece in there. So now Jones down to his final strike. Got to shorten this up. Got to find a way to get a guy on. If you're American Fork, if you're Zullo, hey, it's secondary pitches for the next 4. Yeah, I got 1 to burn. And no reason to throw anything but secondary pitches until the count, or if the count goes full. Would not want to supply the power to Jones, even with a 6-run lead. Gripped it. 2-2. Now he wanted it. You don't think Zullo was trying to throw a 99-mile-an-hour fastball there? The ball stuck in his fingers. Here's the 2-2. Got him swinging. 1 more out in the high school baseball season in Utah. And it comes down to Caden Carpenter to keep the season and the reign of American Fork alive. Base is empty and 2 outs. Riverton can feel it. It would take some insurmountable stuff to score 6 runs and 2 outs as Carpenter lifts this one out of play down the left field line. I mentioned Riverton, I can find going back to 2010, their only championship appearance was in 2018 against Bingham. I remember making to the semis in 07, losing 14-12 to Taylorsville. Coach Applegate, when he's built, it's been so much fun to watch. Is the 0-1 is wide of the plate. But first things first, before we start reminiscing about the history, is Caden Carpenter at the plate. And the 1-1 off the plate goes 2 balls and a strike. One thing you tell your guys when you're the team that's down is, hey, no one makes the first out, and then no one makes the third out. Carp trying to extend this. The 2-1. Hits this one well to right center field. How about it? It's gone. A solo home run for Caden Carpenter. And he's hoping that ignites something. Middle fastball that he didn't miss a single thread on, and what could be his final at bat at American Fork. An absolute rocket from Carpenter. And that'll bring up Josh Rojas. In game 3, Josh is 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored and 2 singles. Trying to keep things alive. And Zullo's pitch is off the plate. Ball 1. And the 1-0 from Zullo. In there for called strike 1. And the 1-1. Little breaking piece, no. A little daisy-made curveball. Doesn't get the call. 2 balls and a strike. Wide of the plate, the count goes to 3-1 to Rojas. He's had a great week. Mentioned time and time again, 2 home runs for Josh this week. Yeah, that gamer hit the 2-run home run and hit a moon ball off the wall in left field. And now the 3-1. And it's going to be a walk for Rojas. And the speed-up runner will come on in Hardman. And now a little visit to the mound here from Riverton. Again, it's been an amazing week. We'll take a minute to thank everybody for all their support. But game 66 on the week for us. We mentioned time and time again, Dane taking care of boys and girls lacrosse. Alex Tumalip did the 5A and 6A boys soccer semifinals and championships. JT Wistersill held down the fort here at UVU for the 5A state tournament, and I held the opportunity to be at BYU for the 6A side of things till yesterday. But an absolute blast. We love what we do, and it's been an amazing school year, 2021, 2022. Feeling normal again with everything. Been an absolute blast. Can't believe that the year is already here as we're down to our final out of the high school sports season. And that brings up Dax Newman. And Newman lifts this one into center field. Cade Miller comes over, and the drought's over. The first state championship in baseball in Riverton high school history. They take 2 from the reigning 6A champion American Fork Cavemen. They hand them and hold them to a season-low 3 runs to claim this 6A crown. What a day for the Silverwolves. Lose 3-2 in heartbreaking fashion last night. They come back today, get a 10-run win in game 2. Bounce back 30 minutes later, and it's a 6-run third, powered by a grand slam from Zach Edwards and a couple insurance runs in the 7th to take the crown from the champ. And it doesn't hurt to get the triple play from Sam Beck as well. And 2 of the best baseball coaches and best baseball men, there's a lot of them in the state, Coach Jay Applegate and Jason Ingersoll. I mean, they are just 2 of the absolute best. And before we go to Riverton, let's talk AF for just a moment. Talk about the championships last year, the last chance tournament championship in 2020 during the pandemic. Win the title last year against PG. The comeback this year with all this talent. And they've run through lots of things. They did not win their region. Lone Peak did. But in this tournament, absolutely crushed the baseball, tore the cover off the ball. And to come into the day with a 1-0 lead, certainly felt like they would repeat. But they ran into a buzzsaw known as the Riverton Silverwolves. And how about Riverton? In game 2 today, scored 18 runs on 13 hits. They drew combined of hit batsmen and walks, 10 walks, 3 hit batsmen, and plate those 18 runs. They come right back, as I mentioned earlier, in the third inning, scored 6 runs, 4 of them off the grand slam from Zach Edwards, who was 0 for on the week coming into the championship series. Just unreal to be able to come back, and Coach Jay Applegate and crew taking home their first championship. Oh, it's just absolutely spectacular to see. And again, congratulations to Coach Ingersoll and the Cavemen, and a terrific program and an outstanding week for their baseball team. But their season and their run comes to an end here today, losing 2 games to Riverton. The final score in Game 3, the Riverton Silverwolves 8 and the American Fork Cavemen 3. Our Heidemann and Associates player of the game, well, it's going to Zach Edwards. Hits the grand slam. I mean, it was a 2-run inning before. Zach gets up. The top 6 guys in the order. The inning started at the top of the order. All 6 guys got on, and all 6 came in. And it was Zach Edwards, the sophomore designated hitter, hitting the grand slam. And then the turning point in this one, beyond that, AF had plated a couple of runs. They come up in the 4th inning, get a run from after Rojas draws a walk. Dax Watts gets up and drives them in. The next hitter is Davis Andrews with a new pitcher, hits a line drive. And it was Sam Beck taking the line drive, stepping on second for the second out, throwing to first for the triple play. It was runners on first, second, and no outs, and some momentum going to AF as if like they bridge the top of this order. But just absolutely unreal what we saw from Riverton today. But Zach Edwards is our Heidemann Associates player of the game. But what a day, what a week, and what a 2021-22 season that cannot believe that it's over. Is Coach Jay Applegate going to take home the first ever baseball state championship. Purple rain for Riverton. You think of these seniors, Goff and Beck, Barton, Miller, and others. Coach Applegate's son, Mitch. Just awesome. Just absolutely awesome. Again, a final score, the Riverton Silverwolves 8, American Fork 3. I'll stop and lay out, let you enjoy the moments for just a little bit as we wrap up the end of the 2021-2022 sports season here on Game Night Live Rewind, our first season with KSL. I want to thank Nate Dowdle and all the engineers and everyone that helps us out. What an outstanding year it's been for us. And for me, can't do a thing without Vince Francis. Done an amazing job, as always, running everything, putting all the highlights out during this game as well. As it has been an outstanding week, and what an outstanding year. Again, the final score, Riverton 8, AF 3. Your 6A Kings of baseball, the Riverton Silverwolves. Congratulations to Coach Applegate and crew. For Vince Francis, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching Game Night Live Rewind's coverage of the 2022 6A State Baseball Tournament on KSLSports.com. As always, brought to you by Heidemann Associates and Western Governors University. So long from UCCU Ballpark.